From the outside looking in, an Indianapolis 500 like never before. The grandstands at Indianapolis Motor Speedway empty because of the pandemic, but the streets outside the famed track packed as spectators tried to get a glimpse of history and fans going to new heights to get their racing fix.
It is sturdy. I spent all week. My kids are coming up, so I need to make it sturdy. I wanted to be on TV, not from falling out of a tree, that's for sure.
Race attendance streaks seemingly broken.
This is my 52nd.
My first Indy 500.
93 races between us.
But IMS officials are giving you a green flag to keep your streak alive. You might not have been able to go to the race, and that's why we are bringing you Trackside. The news at 6 on WRTV begins now.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 6, streaming now.
Takuma Sato is now a two-time winner of the Indy 500. Good evening, I'm Amanda Starrentino. The race just wrapped up a little time ago, and Sato is now savoring his victory. It has been a race day like no other. First, it happened in August, and there were no fans in the stands, all due to COVID-19. Let's go trackside now with Dave First and Brad Brown for the highlights.
Amanda, it's been such an interesting day, I think, from start to finish. It's just, the words have run out of superlatives and adjectives and all of this for the day.
So I was at the very front of the grid,
okay,
right before they gave the command to start the engines, and it was an eerie feeling.
Yeah.
Just looking around, and I'll tell you, when Jim Cornelison did Back Home Again, I've never heard this before, but literally the sound was reverberating off the empty bleachers at the speed.
Jim singing a cappella here to an empty speedway, yeah.
And it was just, it was very surreal, and man, knock on wood, next May, we're not still doing the same thing.
Yeah, it's so very different, but when it's done, there's a champion at the end. I think if we go to our other shot over here, photographer Tony Grant is up on the Tower Terrace stand shooting across the victory podium. Takuma Sato just made his way back up to the champions podium to take some more selfies.
The Japanese media needed some more shots, and so he immediately went back up to victory podium. I mean, this is obviously very big for Rahal, Letterman, Lanigan race, and I had a chance to talk to Dave Letterman, Mike Lanigan as well, and Bob Rahal.
Yeah.
Obviously very big for the race team. But a couple years ago when he won this for Andretti Autosport, this played huge in Japan, in his hometown of Tokyo.
Yeah.
It's going to be, I guarantee it's going to be even bigger now, because I think the folks there saw just what it means to be an Indy 500 champion.
Taku won in 2017. Tokyo, of course, missed out on an Olympics this summer, so something for that city to kind of gather, and to see Taku get a chance to absorb in such a day like this when it was odd, but to see him get a chance to kind of absorb this whole setting here once again, I think an extra appreciation even as a two-time champion.
Well, I don't think he had the best car for the three-quarters of the race.
Yeah.
Clearly it was Scott Dixon.
Right.
Clearly it was Alexander Rossi. Those two went toe-to-toe for most of the race. Then the penalty happened to Rossi. That forced him back. I know we're going to get the highlights. But all of a sudden, Graham Rahal's car got better. And all of a sudden, Takuma Sato's car improved. And man, when they went to the front, it was Katie bar the door.
Good way to get right into it. The highlights from the 104th running of the Indianapolis 500. The traditional start had a different sound today, for certain, as Roger Penske giving the command for the very first time.
We'll be back home in Indiana in 2021. Be safe, have fun, drivers, start your engine.
A lot of excitement out of that, and at the front of the field today, the two-seater had Mario and Michael Andretti, with Marco Andretti starting on pole. But Dave, right from the start, you talk about Scott Dixon, he went right to the lead at the green flag.
Marco Andretti, not to get too far inside baseball here, but he had a high downforce setup, thinking that it would help their chances later in the race. It didn't at all. Scott Dixon went to the point, blew him off by turn one.
Rinus VeeKay had trouble in the pits, hit a crew member there lap 63. That was trouble. And the first really big wreck of the day, the restart on lap 93, Connor Daly, Oliver Askew, a scary looking wreck coming out of turn 4 on the restart.
Askew took a big hit.
Yeah, big time.
And Connor, the thing about Connor, he almost got out of it, unscathed.
We saw Askew back in the medical center, had a little injury to his knee, but good otherwise. Lap 103, Alexander Rossi gets into the mix. He passes Dixon for the lead. Those guys had had a great back and forth day for about 20, 30 laps there.
They were trying to work together to do that, to slingshot around one another and separate those two cars from the rest of the pack, and it worked a little bit.
But then Dave mentioned the penalty where Rossi collides with Sato in pit lane, and it really very nearly cost Rossi at that point his whole day.
He questions the call, the team questions the call, but it is what it is at this point.
And then Rossi's day went from bad to worse. His wreck on lap 144 into the wall and done for the day. And Rossi back to the pack at that point. And then we talk about Sato getting the mix. Lap 158, Taku went to the lead, and as it turns out, that would be the pass for the win.
I kind of thought or wondered if Scott Dixon was just trying to save fuel, get behind Takuma Sato in doing so, and just be ready for the last 15, 20 laps or so. But Sato's car was that good.
Yeah. Sato to the front. Dixon giving chase, Graham Rahal as well, but then with 6 to go, the final wreck, Spencer Piggott, another scary one, hit a pit attenuator. It was the tire barrier down there saved the kid big time. Wow.
Some big hits in this race today, and luckily everyone climbed out of their cars and they're all in good shape.
Final caution flag. You were on the radio there. Any talk of a red flag at the end, or was it yellow to the end?
I think it was too close to the end of the race.
Yeah.
And I think there was some great concern about Spencer Piggott's health.
Yeah.
And because he had those things up, that's why he didn't see the red flag.
Piggott went off on a stretcher there. We'll give you an update on him as soon as we know. But at the end, Takuma Sato to victory circle, the wreath, the milk, twice in 4 years now. An Indy 500 champion, 2% by the way, in case you're wondering, his choice of dairy right there. Big day for Honda, big day for Rahal, Letterman, Landing, and Racing. Just overall, these guys really got it dialed in and we got it put together.
It was jarring to see Dave Letterman in victory lane. Okay, you got the beard. You're going to see the beard. But then the mask on top of the beard.
Sunglasses, too.
We're all laughing about it. I mean, it is what it is. In fact, he told us on the radio network, if there is some way that this helps put a smile on people's faces, he's all about it.
Great perspective. That's it. We're going to have more coming up tonight at 11. We're going to talk to Takuma here coming up in a little bit. We'll have that for you coming up. We'll have some more for you on WRTV.com as well. Way to make it to the end, man.
I need a shower.
I need a snack and a drink. We need a break. The news continues on WRTV after this.
Butler University undergraduate students will start the first 2 weeks of the fall semester remotely. The school made that announcement earlier today. Butler says it is concerned over a lack of compliance from students in following COVID-19 safety guidelines. The university says it has identified 75 students who have been in close contact with people who are positive for COVID-19. Due to this, they predict the number of students with the virus to rise. Kyle, the weather turned out very nice for the Indy 500 race today.
It did. Bartholomew County today taking one for the team. That's where we had those isolated thunderstorms, stayed away from the track. And as we look, we've got one little shower here north of 36 and north of the Newcastle area in Henry County. That will continue to progress to the east. But for most of us, it will be a dry, warm, and a bit of a stuffy evening. Our temperature 85 downtown in Martinsville, 81 right now in Richmond, and close to 90 degrees in Lafayette. Temperatures that will slide back into the upper 70s here by 9 o'clock. Partly cloudy skies for us, and as we approach the overnight hours, temperatures into the 70s. We'll top out or bottom out there around 69 degrees here as we go into tomorrow morning. Still a few of those clouds around. Your Monday forecast brings in mostly sunny skies, mix of sun and clouds out there with temperatures that warm quickly. We're already into the lower 80s here at noon, 87 for that afternoon high, and once again, just an isolated shower or thunderstorm with temperatures that will get close to 90 in a few locations. Here's a look at TrueCast, 1 o'clock Monday afternoon. You see the cloud cover that we'll have, and I think it will be mainly over the east and southeastern portions of the state where we'll see that best chance for a little bit of wet weather coming our way here throughout the afternoon. But if you do see that rain, it's not going to last very long or add up to very much. High temperature right at 90 degrees in Lafayette, 90 in Bloomington. And even if you don't make it to 90 tomorrow afternoon, it's going to feel like it with that tropical humidity in the air. We'll have heat index values in the lower half of the 90s for us. And as we go into the extended forecast, things are only going to heat up more from there. We get into Tuesday and Wednesday, brings quite a bit of sunshine and highs in the 90s. We haven't made it into the 90s so far here in the month of August, but a couple of chances there, not quite to record territory. And look at those overnight lows, not very comfortable there either, around 70 degrees. That extended forecast as we take you to Thursday and Friday, rain chances will increase. We'll have a front in the area and also the remnants of a tropical system that'll bring us some of that wet weather here and needed as we go through Thursday and Friday. That also brings in some cooler cooler, more comfortable air as we head into next weekend with highs around 80 degrees. Stay with us. We'll be right back here on the news at 6.
Thank you for making WRTV your choice for news. Join us for the news at 11.